Goo goo gaga. Please like and subscribe.
My sister is about to have a rude awakening. My sister used to be adamantly child-free. She was independent, strong-willed and had certain goals in life. Until she met the love of her life, soon-to-be husband. She didn't used to let anyone steer her of her personal goals. But now, not so much, I guess. Now she has baby fever and it's concerning. This woman can't even handle 20 minutes watching our small nieces and nephews and has to walk out to get some air because she gets overwhelmed. Her soon-to-be husband wants her to be a stay-at-home mom with 2 or 3 kids. I don't see that unfolding well once it happens. I also understand that people can have a change of heart, but she was adamantly child-free for decades, so I'm interested in seeing her as a mother.
This should be interesting. I can smell the drama beginning to simmer. And people say we can't see the future. Yes we can, you just did. How many years until the divorce? I give it 2 kids and 5 years. All that resentment will be building up after the first kid. Then they will have a second one to fix everything. Then even more resentment will be building up for a year or 2. And bam, time for the big divorce. And then she's screwed because she has no work history for 5+ years, so it'll be extremely hard to get a job.
Exactly. She needs to babysit the nibblings for a weekend, and so does her partner. Yes, and they need to do the babysitting chores equally. Not like how it goes on in most of the families where the father helps with his own children, or babysits them. Agreed, but I would also say that they need to have it where she watches 3 kids for an entire weekend. And from Friday until Sunday, by herself, with no help. And no leaving the house. Then he needs to do the very same thing. Because those weekends will happen when somebody gets called away for some job trip or a friend's reunion or whatever. And the other spouse is holding down the fort. Let that reality set in for them. Doesn't it suck when you can see someone's future unfold before you, but you can't say shiz because they'll get mad or offended? It's going to suck for her when she just can't step outside for some air. These will be her own damn kids she's got to raise. There won't be any breaks. Call her out on it, and if she gets pissed, oh well. Maybe she'll eventually snap back to reality. Right. When she announced that, I think I would have snorted and said, seriously? You can't even stand being around our nieces and nephews for 10 minutes, and you think you'll like that? Hopefully that would have been said with the fiancé in earshot. But it's different when it's your child. Is probably the reaction they would get. Newsflash. It isn't. Everyone is allowed to change their mind, but I would be concerned in that situation whether it's actually your sister who wants it or her husband to be. In my opinion, it's a red flag that the husband wants her to be a stay-at-home mom with 3 kids. Like, for one, he doesn't get to make that decision for her, and it already looks like to me he wants 3 kids because he knows he won't be taking care of them.
Change of heart is one thing. But when you already know you're not mother material, why start in the first place? I would make an appointment with a psychologist in her behalf, because she will need it. Even if I wanted to have kids, I would be stopped by the fact I'm not a very caring person. I am pretty sure your sister's mind is clouded right now and forgot what having a child would actually mean. They say love makes blind, but in many cases you can add stupid too. Or maybe darker still, brainwashed. Coercive control is a real thing. Radical personality changes don't happen overnight without a lot of undue influence usually. Oh no. Don't worry, she'll be fine. After all, it's different when they're your own. Note my sarcasm. She's in for a rude awakening once the child arrives, and she'll have no way to escape the constant screaming and demands for attention.
I predict it'll go one of 2 ways. Either she'll become one of the evangelist parents. I used to be child-free and now I have kids, and it's amazing, everyone should have kids, etc. Or there will be a divorce. OP, if you can, it might be worth seeing if you can have a proper talk with your sister without her partner around. Especially if you're close. At least make sure she's not being bullied or manipulated or abused into doing something she doesn't want.
I hope he makes a lot of money because I see a nanny in their future. And a night nurse. And boarding school. And coercive control on the brainwashing husband's part. If she loves the idea of children simply due to her infatuation with this man. I feel bad for kids once their love dies down a bit. I feel really sorry for any innocent children she brings into the world if she discovers she can't make the transition from non-caretaking into caretaking. It's a huge career change, and stay-at-home moms have to learn their skills just like anyone else with full-time jobs.
My sister-in-law had this happen. She was child-free and she wanted to just have dogs. Her husband pushed the baby talk just weeks after they got married until she just changed her views overnight. That was very scary as she had been very child-free up until that point. She got pregnant 2 months after their wedding. She had no experience with children and never did the babysitter thing as a teenager. And it's why she wasn't interested in having kids of her own. She's even said many times that she doesn't like kids. Now she's got a 5-month-old baby and she's in pure hell. She's dealing with major regret, and has shared with me and her mom that she should have never had a baby. She gets less than 4 hours sleep a night. And she had to quit her job as a pharmacist because she was physically and mentally unable to do her job with no sleep. She's told her husband that under no circumstances will they have another kid, but he wants 4 kids in total. They never had the "do you want kids" talk prior to getting married, and now she has to deal with the fallout of it. Your sister needs to figure out what she really wants without the influence of her soon-to-be husband. She will regret it the rest of her life if she doesn't.
This reminds me of my brother. He also never wanted kids. He ran into his high school sweetheart at a bank when he was 43. Up until then, he had always said he'd never have kids or a family, would literally fight my mother over it. Less than a year later, he was married to that high school sweetheart and they had a baby on the way. Fast forward to now, 3 years later. His wife is completely mentally deranged, and he's an alcoholic. Good luck.
You can't help someone who doesn't want your help. Sit back and enjoy the drama, I guess. And make it known that you will not babysit or help under any circumstances. You don't want any part of this train wreck, trust me. If she can't handle half an hour with a child and her soon-to-be husband wants her to be barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen. Yikes. OP, I may not know your family, but I would ask her if she needs help. I don't think she's understanding what's exactly at stake here. I genuinely feel bad for her.
Sadly, you might not be able to talk her out of it. She might even start to resent you once reality hits. I think they will get a divorce soon.
Seriously, a former child-free woman landed a man that wants her to be stay-at-home mom for 2 or 3 kids. What a healthy situation to be in. Note my sarcasm. That poor kid. Remind her she can't even watch her nieces for long. I'll get the popcorn ready. Get ready for some drama.
Goo goo gaga.
Apparently everything is easy and nothing you do is impressive unless you've made your life difficult by burdening yourself with children. This is a conversation that happened some time ago. Rando said, "Hey OP. How was your weekend? What did you do?" I replied, "It was good. I went to, insert place, to run the marathon." Rando's 2 cents was, must be nice having so much free time to do that. It's easy to do that stuff when you don't have kids. Okay. First of all, running a marathon isn't effing easy. Just because I didn't train for it while pushing whining crying brats in a stroller in front of me. Yes, having kids makes things harder. No, that doesn't mean things are magically easy without them. Imagine if the situation were flipped. If a stay-at-home mom was talking about her workout routine and I said, "It must be nice to have all that time to work out when you don't have a full-time job." Oh my God. Imagine the reactions I would get. I mean, first off, I'd never say that because it's catty and witchy and gross, but everyone would flip out if I did. Yet it's perfectly okay to tell people that their life is so easy and that their accomplishments mean nothing because they didn't procreate. It pisses me off.
Me, being me. I would say something along the lines of, "You mean you have no free time? Because you have kids? Sucks to be you, doesn't it? So glad I have all my free time to do as I please. And, good deal to you OP, for running a marathon. Take a lot of guts and hard work."
When I was 18, I made an offhand comment to my mother, saying that my manager sometimes makes comments insinuating that I'm less adult than she was at my age. My mom said, "Well, she had kids at your age, so it's true. Being child-free doesn't make you less adult." That drives me nuts too. I put a picture of a cool jigsaw I did on Facebook once, and parent friend commented, "If you have so much free time, maybe you could come over and help me clean up after the kids." What does that even mean?
You made her feel bad about herself because she has never done something as hardcore as running a marathon. And she probably never will. So she wanted to bring you down a peg by diminishing your accomplishment. What a witch. Congrats on running a marathon. That's incredible.
They can't see life any other way, so they generalize like that. Kids are always on their minds, and is parasitic to any thought they have. They have to involve their children, even in conversations. The true invasive life parasite. My favorite response is, "Yes, it's very nice, actually. It's the best." They want to make you feel badly and self-consciously for living your child-free life. Don't let them. Don't explain yourself. It usually shocks them into silence.
They just said that to you as a pathetic excuse as to why they have not accomplished what you were able to accomplish. I'm also a runner, and I often joke that it's unfair that others are faster runners than I am just because they eat better and work harder than I do.
Congratulations on the race. I did a fuller number of them years ago, and the training is no joke. It's much cheaper, and it makes your body look a lot better than having a kid would. I would look aside thoughtfully for a second, as if contemplating my free time, then smile really big, make eye contact and say, "Yes. Yes, it is." Drop the mic and walk away. Yeah, that's why I don't have them. I would rub it in real hard. Yeah, I have so much free time because I chose not to have kids. It's quite nice. Why, the other weekend I spontaneously went to get a massage and dinner with my boyfriend. It wasn't cheap, but we have so much extra money because we spend so little on monthly expenses. Having free time and resources feels good. I'm not gonna lie. Girl, congratulations on the marathon. I admire your level of endurance and strength. I could never. I've done a couple of half marathons. I genuinely can't imagine how it would be if someone turned me around at the end and was like, "Now do that all over again." So yeah, huge congratulations, because a marathon takes next level hard work and dedication.
Goo goo gaga.
I had an interesting bingo last night. I was in a bar with my significant other and we got to talking to an older woman who was quite eccentric, but rather lovely. She was like, "You two are lovely. Do you have any kids?" And we did our standard, "No, it's not for us." She said, "Oh, but you should, you're exactly the kind of people that should be having kids. You are intelligent, friendly, well-mannered, etc., etc." I did say she was nice. She said that she works with kids and she thinks that entirely the wrong kind of people that are choosing to do what shall not be named. And more people like us are choosing not to. It's an interesting point of view. It's not going to change my mind at all, but tea does make you think about where the species is headed as more and more educated people choose not to do what shall not be named. Please like and subscribe.